Oh damn! So you're actually having some really good success. And is that with only volley, or is that some Evelyn, or?
So the main champs that I play are Fiddlesticks, Volley, and Evelyn.
And you're enjoying the meta, aren't you?
I am enjoying the meta for sure.
Yeah, when it goes your way, it's definitely fun. How long have you played jungle?
I've pretty much played jungle the entire time that I've played League, and I think my first season was like season 4, season 5.
Okay.
Um, but I've never really tried to climb that much. It's always been kind of something that I've just played for fun, and now I would like to try and climb.
Is that just a change in general approach, or did the Corona give you some added time to do that?
Just changing general approach.
Yeah.
Like I'm a pretty competitive person. Um, so it kind of bugs me. All my friends have made it into gold or higher, and I'm stuck.
Yeah, I understand that. The problem with the league is it can be really fun to take, in a casual perspective, but then ultimately it's all about the competitive nature
Yeah.
of it. Right. So, do you have a decent amount of games with volley, or?
I think I'm about 50 games,
Okay,
50
good.
or 60 games in them.
Okay, good. What do you think about the nerfs? How did that hit you?
Honestly, other than the first jungle clear, I don't see that much of a difference with them.
Good. I agree. Yep. The bigger problem for me was, I'm going to ask you this in a second. Usually, we're against the Kane here, so when I see Canes or any sort of farming jungler, I basically see absolute free food, and I actually would not start on red. I love to start on the blue, Gromp, red, and it before the nerfs gave me about, either 5 seconds before or right as they were doing blue, and a lot of the time, especially even up until like Master tier, their clears are kind of lazy, right? They don't kite, they just sit around and they get super low, and you can just walk in and kill them. It's really fun versus Evelyns because they always, they're doing full clear. Versus Kane's the same thing. So what is your usual approach in terms of early game? Because with the attack speed and the heal before the nerfs, I mean, it was very easy. You could do full clear by like 308, 310. And that was a nice sort of option if you had to clear. But now I think there's definitely a bit more emphasis on getting onto the field. So what do you want to do?
So this game, my approach was generally my approach is I start wherever my bot side is, but my bot before the game said, "Hey, start top side path to me, gank early, we'll get a kill." Well, you will watch, and it doesn't happen because I do my clear and they shove into the enemy's turret, so it was a complete waste for me.
Well, yeah, they did. Yeah, so I usually ignore my bot lane, and I hate this. I don't know how often it happens to you, but if your bot lane cheeses this bush, they forget that they leash the jungler. So the jungler's here, and then the Rengar comes out of nowhere and gets 2 kills. You're like, okay, this was a fun game. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I agree with you there. I think Alistar, Jin's a nice gankable lane. So you actually want to do what are you planning on doing? You're going to Krugs? You're going to do full clear or?
Yeah, I believe this game I was doing a full clear.
Okay. I'm not sure. I don't think in this case you actually need to smite the big one.
Okay.
I mean I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't often do a red to blue full cycler. I feel it's a lot less efficient because having E up, and your mana sustain up with the blue buff is super huge once you get to the side. So if you were doing blue Gromp, wolves, you don't need to smite anything, and it's really easy to get level 3. And then once you get into your raptors here, you just make sure you have you W the raptor, the big one to begin with. You kite it out, hitting the babies, and you just make sure you get a second W on the big raptor. Again, it gives you a bit of heal back. But obviously with the nerf, that's not as viable. But
yeah,
I think here,
honestly, I think what I ended up doing is I'm pretty sure I skipped raptors.
Okay,
so
then that's
my clear of this game was kind of weird.
No, that's actually fine because in the roots video I just released, hell yeah, literally a week ago now, the one I actually focused on that was very interesting for me was red into Krugs into a full blue side. So you ignore the raptors just because they're annoying and they're finicky and it delays spikes. And I think at this point you'd waste way too much HP and mana. So I think whether it was a conscious decision or not, it's actually pretty good. So if you go into full blue side here, it's fine.
I didn't want to lose the HP.
Yeah, you would 100%, yeah. Okay, so now we can just hit, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, pre-nerf, not a big deal to do raptors. Post-nerf, it does hurt.
It does hurt more. So in this case, just make sure you're hitting the babies. Like you can auto W, auto the big one, then just hit the babies, and when your W's up again, auto W, auto the big one again. Because your chain lightning will kill. If you're a single target, you want to hit the babies first. Raptors the same thing. The only reason we W it is just so we can get the second proc of the W for the heal, which at this point is almost an embarrassment.
Yeah.
And this is my issue. You see this now? What happens if you're against? I mean, nothing really super counters volley, but I mean, what if an Olaf runs in here? You know, or
I'm and in a bad position.
And I'm
so
in a
out
bad
of
position.
mana and in a not a very good spot.
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing for me is, and you see it in pro play, they love to do 5 camps, and even in pro play, which is quite funny. The fact that you told me about the clear, noticing that difference is huge, because even in pro play, they'll do the blue, Gromp, Wolves, Raptors, red, and they're like half HP for some reason. And I have no idea how, because if you do blue side into red side, you'll notice significantly better sustain once you get to these camps, just because you have Q, which is just, it's more animation canceling and auto canceling. It gives you just more DPS, right?
Yeah.
At this point, I normally ask where the jungler is, but in silver 1, gold 4, they don't always do the most logical thing. So this dude has gotten
skipped. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
He went red Raptors into blue into Gromp. Now, this would be great if he had any inclination that you were invading. At this point, you as Volibear could have done blue Gromp red, and you could have easily been here for a gank, or you could be on your way to invade this guy. Now, if he does a full clear, you know, red, Krugs, Raptors, up until this point, you can... I mean, there was one situation where there was a Shyvana, and my top laner warded the blue, so I knew she wasn't on the blue yet, but I knew by the time I had done my 3 camps and invaded, 100% she had to be on the Wolves. It's sort of just experience timing, and I just hopped over the plant, and there she was, free kill. For the Kayn, you could just do the same thing, right? Hop over the plant, wait at the blue buff. The guy's going to walk around level 3, but you bring down the E, W, Q, you guarantee burn his flash, and if he misplays it, free first blood. So that's why I love 3 camp clears. I think it's something you should perhaps try out a little bit, even after the nerfs. And you run, that's what I was checking at the beginning, you run the... do you run attack speed every game, or do you sort of flex into tenacity if there's a lot of CC?
I'll flex into tenacity if there's a lot of CC.
Yeah, because, I mean, I'm looking at this game, CC. If he goes Ross, which he will CC...
yeah, I should have gone tenacity.
Well, you know, this is the thing. You could... but at the same time, with volley, we usually like boots of. Do you run boots of swiftness as well? I feel like it's
I usually do your build.
Okay,
the YouTube video that you made on him.
Okay, good. Yeah, I actually have a slightly different build that I iterated on based upon. There's another Korean ELO one trick, and he's top lanes though, and I basically fused. When he made his video about it, he agreed on the principles of Sheen, CDR, and HP. So he developed a build for his top lane, and I sort of, because we agreed on the principles, I sort of fused it into the jungle build. So I'll see what you go, and then I'll let you know what I'm thinking as we do. But yeah, you see what I mean? I mean, you've done the full clear, which is great because you want to gank bottom lane. But for me, the greatest thing of all about this champion is that you can make him not exist and hate his life. And as a farming scaling jungler, there's nothing better than that when you're against it. If you are that, it's depressing. And you play Evelyn, so you know it's depressing. When the Rengar walks into your jungle, it's like, yeah, this is my camp. Also, for me, I don't know how much this happens to you, but if you don't gank a lane, they get tilted. And if the enemy jungler camps it, they get tilted, right? They get frustrated at you. Especially when you're playing Evelyn, which is what sucks about this ELO when you're playing Evelyn, because you need to farm pre-6, and always Malice is, you know this, he doesn't like to gank pre-6 if he can help it, but, you know, sometimes you have to. So for me, we've missed a little bit of impact.
Okay.
Because at this point, you have to view the game plan as right. I have 25 to 30 minutes to get a lead that cannot be lost. Because Rost will destroy you. Well, should. You know, Kayn's one of the actual counters. But let's have a look. So that's a lot of pre-jabble, but I feel like that's really important. This is a good angle. And we have no F... Oh,
And they just
So, yeah. Let's see from their perspective. So the wave's pushing as you are coming for the gank. So in this case, you need to show extreme patience. Yeah, at this point, you need to wait.
Okay.
This is a good gank. The angle's really nice, and this is hysterical because he's going to go ward this, and you're already here. So overall, getting level 4 off of this, which is why this is good, right? With a crab, this gives you 4. So this you don't really care about, because if he counter jungles you and takes it, you say, okay, thanks for the reset. I'll get higher experience the next time I'm there. Appreciate it. For this here, just watch these waves. This is the biggest problem point for junglers in this ELO, which is good for you if you understand it, because the Kayn will do this mistake, or any jungler you're against will do this mistake. And if you're the Kayn and you're watching on the minimap, right, you see this like, okay, free jungle, thank you.
Yeah.
So for you, 1, we don't want to give that information away. And 2, you want to be very patient for this wave to crash. Because if you come into the lane now, this wave's going to attack you. They're going to see you. And your laners are not in position to engage. So currently the space between you, and that's actually pretty good. The space between the Alistar and you is absolutely huge. And they're smack bang in the middle. If they were towards the Alistar and the Jhin, we could cheat it. Maybe you can just go in now. But because it's all, you know, like split really heavily, I think we need to wait a little bit. Because if you wait for this wave to crash here, Jhin is really close to 3, and Alice is really close to 3. And at 3, this is a timing thing. I think people don't, they always say, hey, don't worry about timing until you get higher up the ladder. I think this is a game changer for you. 2:45 minutes, 2 minutes 45 seconds, you have level 3 volley, either ganking top or mid, or bot, depending what side of the map you're on, or invading a jungler. At around 3 minutes 30, this point, okay, Lane's bottom lane should start to get close to 3, and be very close to 3, in this case the center, right? She has souls though. So it can be really beneficial just to let this wave crash, and they're not going to ping it for you, but you could say, hey guys, how close are you to 3? And they can ping it for you. You know, you have time because you could wait in the bush. You're currently waiting for the wave, so it's actually no pressure for you. But otherwise, the path thing was good. I mean, I think it was really good. I think this is just impatient execution on your part, and the Alistar. If he waits a little bit and you don't show, I think this is a really free gank. Did you watch? Did you watch the summoner spells being burnt early?
I actually did not know.
Okay. Okay. Your bottom lane wasn't interested, huh?
No.
Your Zed wasn't interested either. So here,
Zed
I think
wasn't interested either.
No. If you're gonna flash Q, I think it's very important that you bring your E down significantly before.
Okay.
So you should start queuing, and you know, okay, well you should know, right? This guy burnt his flash level 1, because I mean you just auto attacking this. You know, there's no need to stare at yourself during the red. We can look down here always if they're cheesing just to see what summons are burned, because even if your bottom lane ends, the enemy bottom lane will burn sums and you can in turn get fed. So here, start your Q, try and bait him out of using his heal, right? He saved it until you flash Q'd. And because we pulled down our E after the Q, the stun wears off and the heal gets him out of the range. And I think that's really big because not only does it give you the shield, of course, which you get, it stops the slow. You know, and that's a nice 40% slow, right? So
yeah,
for 2 seconds. And if this dude, and look, you can see his intent now is looking at the situation because the Galio's leaving. So if we get this slow, it might change the nature of the fight. And also, of course, the magic damage. So make sure you always, if you're gonna Q flash, start the Q. You can bring down the E while you're queuing, no animation whatsoever, instantly castable. And then you can flash Q so that it hits him on the E and you get the maximum damage plus the slow, etc.
Okay.
That's the burst, right? You're not stacking the slow, but you're getting the burst. And imagine if he was slowed the whole time and had the percentage damage. He's, you know, maybe like half HP almost. And we could be
probably,
yeah,
we could have won that 2v2 most likely.
But even then, I mean, it's a bit of an all-in play because no one was following you. But if they freeze us now, we could be looking at something interesting. All right, so See, there you go. That's much better. That's much better. Like, we hit the E. We got the slow right after the Q. Yeah, that's good. That's much better. Alright, we get some flashes. Alright, cool. And we know we came from topside, so most likely you lost your Raptors. So
Yeah,
we should...
I check, but...
I think you could have just reset.
Okay.
I think here's valuable time. I mean, it sucks as volley. Let's see. So if he... Like, look at this shadow. So this is obviously benefit of hindsight. But it's also anticipation habits. In this case, if he took your Raptors, which is likely because he came from the side, he eat over the wall. And you can look at his CS and be like, okay, lots of CS, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is technically a full clear, but he didn't really do that. So you wouldn't have known. But at least you could anticipate, okay, maybe it's warded here. So I think just the biggest thing the Korean Challenger junglers do over pretty much everyone else is their back timings are disgusting because they just know these fog of war limitations. They'll just sit here behind the fog and go back. And no one will have any idea what they're doing. You know? Or at the same time, if you want to go check, you could always check behind. But I think here, just walking in front, if you're going to do them, is fine, but I think here...
Back timing is definitely something I feel like I struggle with quite a bit.
It's a big thing. It's a big thing.
Because I get greedy. Like here, I'm sitting here looking, I'm like, okay, well, I can go get Krugs.
Oh yeah, I got 968 gold. That's not a lot. I'm broke. I need some stuff. Yeah. It's not wrong to stick out here. It's not wrong if you have an item spike, but let's see what you get. I mean, let's see how much you got left. So in this case, the Krugs have funded Boots, Stalkers, and Control Ward. So that's not wrong at all. That's good. You know?
And I usually, when I play volley, I usually always go for Boots early. That's generally my first buy.
Yeah.
Is what I just did.
So okay, let's revisit. So I was obviously thinking, okay, right, if he came from here, he took my Krugs, I can just reset. But that's only because I'm thinking of, you know, nice sequencing. I think actually getting that itemization spike when you don't get... If you had a gank that was successful, had an assist or a kill, I think you could just go back. And then we could get the tier 2 Krugs and sequence down. But I think here, actually, it's not too bad greeting, just because this is a second spawn Krug camp. Nice experience, gives you the gold necessary. And now we can go bottom side and look to make plays. But what do you actually want to accomplish now?
So my thought process at this point is, well, I need to play towards the bottom side of the map. Dragon's up. I can't really afford to go top and show myself, because if I do, it's free for them.
Yes.
So I'm trying to clear my bot side, see if there's anything available. If there's not, look mid or start farming towards top.
Okay, so we do wolves. Okay. Okay, we see this. All right. Galio in the river. That's
I
good.
saw Galio coming down is what I did, so I walked out to stop him.
Okay. Yeah, we saw him rotate. I was just looking at the HP, so I figured that's what you saw. But either way, yeah, good recognition. We could hit this. I think we could hit this. Okay. It lets us know what vision we have. It lets us see 100% where the Galio is. And when you see Galio going back to lane and what's warded, you can sort of breathe a little easy because you know where everyone is. Otherwise, you know, we're kind of sitting in darkness. What are they doing? We have no idea.
Okay.
Until they show. It's just a peace of mind for yourself as well as for your team. Okay, Kane shows. And he shows at level 5, which at this point is expected. We smack our level 5 Grump. And now, do we hit the plant, look for a dragon? Kane here again. Alright.
No, but...
Okay, yep, here we go. There we go. So at this point, I like to do dragon as well. But we have to be very careful here. So I think the scanner is good. I mean, it's not wooded, but you know he's hovering.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, you could pull it out and do it.
Okay. I was a little too worried to try.
That was a mistake, because once you scanned it. Okay, so this is what I would usually do in this situation. Because obviously at this point, if there's nothing to do here, it sucks, because now you have to go back. You don't have enough gold to really buy anything of value, and your red's going to be up, the top side crab is up, your second tier raptors have spawned. You maybe want to try and make a play in the top lane. Like, you want to get this ideally because it lets you control the tempo of the game. So let me see. I think at this point, once you hit it and the ward is cleared, and you've
Should've
scanned
just
it,
went.
yeah, but pull it out.
Okay.
Just drag it out
Yeah.
towards, and you can just drag it out to your bottom lane. Because they're showing direct interest in doing it, and you don't see this. I'm lying, because I'm blind.
I
Coach,
do.
by the
My
way, you
minions
do
are
see
on
this.
top of it.
Senna's going back with no mana. So,
Okay.
let's go. Absolute free dragon. And doing this shows you to Kayn, right, we're doing the dragon. But your Zeds here should be free. Good. Yeah, so it's a good result, but we could have done it, 2 seconds sooner.
Okay.
She returns, okay. So this is something, okay, let's just play it out. How ham do you go? Okay. This is old in queue. So this is something that I think you were doing very nicely, and I tell a lot of people, actually, I got this from, because I obviously watch different level coaching as well, just to see what's relevant to most of the ELOs. In this case, they helped you rotate up and take this dragon, okay? The Kayn was shoved off, the Zed even rotated, you both smited it. Santa's gone back to base, is going to be coming back to lane. So the best thing we can do in this case is guide them back to lane as you were doing. This is good.
Okay.
Stick with them, stick with them, stick with them. They see that they're all rotating back to lane. I think we could have... Okay, so he goes in. I'm sort of thinking out loud here. Do I want to go for a gank here? I think I do. And I think you don't have to necessarily gank, but 90% of the time this bush is warded, so I think here the threat, just guide them back to lane, take this control ward, force Aphelios to back off, and your bottom lane will now be in a great position in this wave. He goes in because I think he doesn't realize you've left.
Yeah.
I think that's honestly it. You're not duo with anyone in this game, are you?
My top lane, I actually am.
Oh,
and he gets
okay.
just smashed.
Yeah, okay, so that's... Okay, so here I think just guiding them back to lane and clearing out the vision is huge. You don't actually have to have a gank. That's why you see in pro play or high elo play, sometimes they don't actually gank, they just clear the vision out. Because now it's dark for them. And you can see from the Senna, if you press tab, you'll see, oh, she has 2 control wards. So you know she's going to replace it, but having you use that resource is huge,
Okay.
And at the same time, if you cleared it and then kind of hung around, and she shows up here to ward it again, you could just chunk her and leave, There's nothing else for you to do here. The blue's going to be spawning, you've got the dragon, you don't exactly have a lot of gold, but you have enough to go get a ruby crystal, reset, and go do sort of your red side and herald. So we might as well maximize a little bit of the time we have here. I think that's something worth thinking about. But I mean, overall, it's okay. You were there. It's his fault, right? And now Kayn's gonna be here. All right, what happens? Let's see. I mean, it's his fault, but it's more like, what could we have done, or what can we do in these situations? Zed's here too with level 6 and 7.
Yeah, and he goes ham. I'm not like.
All right.
I kind of just watch.
I see your pain at this. Yeah, sorry. I see your pain there.
Yeah.
You're like you kind of want to leave now.
Yeah, just like I'm not trying to dive them. Under
I want
the
6.
I'm not.
The problem is we waste so much time.
Yeah.
That's why I think just guiding them back to lane, and if you have a scanner, you just used it on the dragon, but just clearing out the control ward. You could set a trap if the center rotates. You just chunk her and get out. Then you can reset, and then you can worry about everything else. But when blue's spawning and these camps are spawning in like a minute and a half, but there's nothing else to do, it's okay to sometimes wait around a little bit, but not too much, because we don't want to be level 5 at 8 minutes,
Yeah.
At this point, we know we could reset and clear down, and then gank level 7 bottom lane.
Okay.
So if your focus was bottom lane, then I think I just guide them back to the ward, reset, go up here. I can take all these camps. If Kayn does something stupid, shows, or the lanes look really nice, I can do my herald. But I think given this balanced and wonderful champion is pushing top lane, maybe we don't want to really be too hasty about doing herald without having flash up. And also Galio, so yeah. I think we waited around a little too long. Do you find yourself getting really far behind in experience in games?
It depends.
Or with volley. With volley. Because I know it's
With
Evelyn opposite.
Volibear,
Yeah.
generally not really.
Okay.
Usually I end up getting first blood when I path how I normally do, but this game was weird.
Yeah, I can see it. Okay, so, I mean, given what happened, this is good to clear and go back to base. So this is what I talk about a lot with quadrant clearing. So I think if you're not finding yourself behind, it's because you're doing good things like this. This is nice. All right, done with bottom side. Nothing else to do. Get level 6, clear the blue camps, let them reset. Let's go top. But yeah, I think 100%. I'm with you on this. With my strategy of, you know, blue gromp, red, 245 into this lane. Level 2 Darius, you tell your Moore to take his hook and burn the flash, burn the ghost, kill him if you can. You can shove the lane.
Yeah. Because if I get my top laner the early lead, which I should have, the game probably wouldn't have ended the way that it did.
Does Darius 1v9?
Oh, Darius dunks on us. And I don't know why I looked for vision right there. I wasn't paying attention to the pink ward.
I think you saw him go down.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what are you going to do? I mean, we know Galio has moved down and Zed's here, but he's going back to base. Yeah, I think at this point, if he moves down to Herald, he moves down to Herald. So my build is not so much on the Cinderhawk, but you get your Kindle Gem and then a Sheen. So you have Stalker's Blade, Kindle Gem, and a Sheen. But very heavily, it's because I'm usually like 2-0-0 or, you know, 1-0-2. I've gotten kills and assists and ganks and stuff.
Okay.
In the case that I'm a bit more far behind, or the game isn't really going away, I think I still go Barmy Cinder. But the Kindle Gem and healing and stuff is so good. Alright. That's good.
I should have thrown my slow first because he just flashed it. So.
Yep. We got both sums, but I mean, I don't think you get them anyway. Because I mean, like you are. Did you have to R to get your Q off?
No.
And that's that's a good mechanic. It's really fun, right? But if you don't need to use it, we shouldn't use it. Let's see. No, you didn't have to R here. We could have just thrown out our E. You know, maybe here. If he's pathing this direction, we get the Q, we get the damage. You get a full cancellation on your W, and then you can use your R once he's flashed as a gap closer and as survivability. Because he turns. I
shouldn't have led with it.
Yeah, like as he turns here, I'm bringing down my E, and I'm just gonna go Q on him, and then you can just sort of do your animation cancellings, auto Ws, etc. We don't need to ult here.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And even so, you're right. Even so, we still almost get it away. Yeah. But this is a good flash by him. But I agree with you. If you haven't used your E at this point, save it. And you can sort of put it ahead of him. But I don't think you kill him now because you've got your cooldowns are disgusting compared to his.
Yeah. Like, and he just burned Ghost and Flash, so I mean I'm not.
I mean he's got Q up again in 2, you know, yeah. You don't win that, yeah. Okay, so let's say that's possibly a kill we've thrown away. We haven't seen Kayn for a while, and the fact that he's not on the Herald yet means he must have done blue side. And this does look like a free take, but we have to still be cautious. I'd anticipate the Kayn's bottom lane. There we go. Yep. So this is free for you. Okay, so this is good. Gank into objective is always what we want. We can look while we're doing this. Okay, so Kayn flashes. That's good to know. All right, this is what we want to do.
That is something I need to get better at too.
Yeah.
Because like I'll watch my mini map, but I don't necessarily watch the lane. I'm not looking directly at the lane.
Well, I mean, sometimes on the minimap, you can see the flashes. So like, say you're looking at yourself and now you're just staring at the bottom right. You just watch Kayn's logo. You know, like that's a very sudden change. Yeah. Now this is very difficult because of the bushes and everything else going on, but mid lane, it's very easy. If you're focused on something else, maybe looking here, and you see the Gallo sort of, well, Gallo is also difficult, but Lee Sin is something that also does it. He sort of cues over the Raptor Pit, and you see his icon just go whoops over the wall. you know he just queued and followed it over the wall. And same with flashes. You know, you see the Gallo just instantly change direction, flash. It's not, you know, as good because of other movement abilities, but at the very least, we can sort of get information. But yeah, I agree with you. In this case, clicking like I did just gives you everything. 100%.
Okay.
We can sort of insinuate he flashed, but we don't actually know for certain, do we? This is good. Right. Let's pick that up. Let's take the plants. Yellow is missing again. Zed, very good mid laning. This is so good for... I don't know how often you do this, but if you see a jungler sort of flow from a gank, flash, and be low HP into this direction, and say you were here, you know, just go and kill him. Always free.
Okay.
Right, I don't know. Okay, let's see.
My thought process is he just burned both summoners, and he stayed, and he was somewhat pushed up in lane, but
Yeah,
I was hoping that something would be there.
What's likely he warded. So for me, the biggest thing takeaway from this situation is it's more time wasting. So
Okay.
right, what's the next thing we want to do? Okay, this.
Dragon.
This.
Yeah.
We got the gank. Your top lane is a little bit screwed. I don't see a universe where he is able to do much at the moment.
Yeah.
I like that you want to help him, but at the same time, you've told me the win condition for you is bottom lane. And you've put a lot of effort into bottom lane, and your Jhin is now up 30 CS. Velios, 200 years is 0-2. No. I think we should play behind it. It sucks for your top laner, but that's top lane.
Yeah.
It's like here you can reset because we've got 2 minutes to use it on the plates. So and because he just killed the Krugs and is level killed the Kayn at Krugs and he's level 9, I'm thinking, all right, let's reset and go straight down for this Crab and Dragon. Then we can gank bottom lane and get this tower plating. Or in this case, because they're so low, let's just gank bot first, use the Herald, and then I can go to Dragon. You know, you've got a lot of options. But I think that should be the play 100%.
Okay.
And I think that wins the game. I mean, the fact that we're in a silver 1, gold 4 game and it's 2-3 at 12 minutes is kind of hysterical.
Yeah.
This is not normal, right?
No, it's not at all. I've had a couple games today, and my bot lane's got like 4 deaths before I even finish my first clear.
That's more like it. That's what it is. Okay. And it's always like that when you're playing Evelyn too. It's like, all right, guys, I scale, relax, everyone dies.
That's
okay.
exactly who it was with too.
You see, I know. I know the pain.
Yeah, I hung out here for way too long.
Yep, that's twice now.
I'm in voice chat with my buddy, and he's like, "Gank me, give me the Herald." So
why aren't you helping me? I thought I had a jungler duo.
Yeah.
Even Kayn ganked me. Like, Kayn didn't gank you. Well, I wouldn't know. Oh, we give him a dragon there. Yeah, that's a big suck. And all we really did was give, at this point, I mean, his behavior told you it was warded 100%.
Yeah.
Do you scan? Alright, good. You guys realize something's up here.
Yeah. And all I did there was give away, like you said, give away a dragon and give them an opportunity to get back into the game.
Oh man, this is... Welcome to Kayn. Galio's a champion. Oh, I see it slipping. But your buddy did get the Darius kill. He just killed Darius.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's you know, at the end of the day, who is carrying? Who is the carry? Is it you or is it him?
It's gonna be me.
There you go. Reset. Yeah, you got a lot of gold now. Yeah, I think in this case, that's two issues. We hung around bot lane, hovering, like, guys, don't go in. Okay, I better stay just in case. But if you're very decisive with your movements, right? Clear the vision, chunk the Senna, just leave, go back to base. Do red side. You could maybe sneak the Herald or gank top lane a little sooner. Because the Kayn was sort of going down, which we saw. And once you do get the Herald after this gank on the top lane, I think if we play correctly, it's possible, maybe 80% possible, that we get the kill on him if we play the ultimate EQ sort of juggling act a bit better. But once you get this, I feel like even despite all of this, it wasn't bad. It was just we weren't really getting payout. You know, it's volley where we really want payout. 50 minutes, we don't want to be 0-0-0, and Kayn is 0-1-0. So this is actually hysterical. But But as soon as Kane dies here, I'm thinking, right, back to base. I'm straight down bottom lane. The center was super chunked. Galio was rotating. The crab is up. You've got Herald for these plates. I think this is the game. You do this play, you get 3 kills, most likely. You get a second dragon. You get 4 to 5 plate gold for yourself and your team. And you get to full back, right? Because your bot lane will likely reset after all of that nonsense. Everyone will be kind of exhausted from so many kills in such a short span. You can just clear your blue side up to your red side. And if top lane is gankable, do it again.
Okay.
Otherwise, reset, spend your gold. And just play around the objective. Play around the lane that's your win condition and try and match that, the time you play around that lane, with the objective that's the focus of the map. So you want to camp bottom lane and there's a dragon? Perfect. You know, you want to camp bottom lane and there's a herald? Okay, let me go do the herald, then sequence down, gank, and then use it. You know? And then you can do the next dragon. So I think keeping that in focus is a good idea. You could have done the crab as well, but I think you assumed it was taken.
I did.
It's good to check, though.
Okay.
Galio's such a champion, man.
Yeah, that dude just cannot die. He's just...
And Kane's not even form yet.
Nope. Their Kane, honestly, he doesn't do anything until he gets Rost. And it takes him forever to do it. And my 80 carry didn't want to buy an Executioners, and my top lane wanted to wait until like 3rd item to buy a Morella Nomicon. So once he forms, he just does what he wants.
But this is what we want.
Yeah.
Alright, we got Q again. We got E to slow. We got Smite. We got Nimbus. Alright, there we go. That's good restraint, actually. Yeah, good. It's good. It's good. No need to go 2 Bram. And now we can get the dragon. Alright, so that's nice. But you see what I'm saying? Like, you told me, right, I'm going to listen to my bottom lane and make them the win condition. They are still. Yeah. Now imagine if we put another gank with 2 plus a herald, you know, plus that second dragon. That's your 3rd dragon, 18 minutes. And this is dead. And now your bottom lane, after this play, if this guy does what he does, I hope you kill him. Yes. Love it. I love ADCs like that. You know, at this point in the alternate universe where we used our hero bottom lane, this tower's dead. So, most likely, they won't feel compelled to stay. You never know.
Yeah.
I like to play a little bit hypotheticals because it's not so much that people always make the right or wrong decision, it's that, you know, it's like when you're sitting at home and you're bored, like, what can I do? And then you start to think about the options. Versus when you're stuck doing something you don't really want to do, but you're doing it, so you don't really think about what else you could perhaps be doing with your time. It's the same thing here. All they see is tower and CS. But if there's no tower and there's no CS, they think, okay, maybe a herald. Maybe we can take this tower. Their focus starts to shift somewhere else on the map. I mean, I hope. But at this point, you could shock caller, right?
Yeah.
But I think here... I think staying here to shove this and take the tower is a good idea. Hey, all the good things that I'm seeing is why you should keep climbing like you have been. It's pretty good. All the little things about the timing, the overstaying the objective, you know, being in the right place for the objective, is stuff that will get you through gold very well.
Okay.
But you should be able to get gold with your priorities. So let's see, what do we have? We have 2k. You want to go the Triforce. Even in this build, I think once you've got Cinderhulk, I think going into Kindle Gem and Sheen is huge.
Okay.
Because it gives you 20%. I think waiting for CDR beyond this point is actually a huge handicap. I feel the pain. Try it once or twice. You'll notice the 20% in fights. Because at this point, it's 20 minutes into the game. Ross is coming around. You've got Darius. You've got long sustained fights. You want to get as many W's off as possible. Having 20% versus 0 is huge. Okay, so here you get the Stinger, but definitely Sheen.
Sheen instead?
Yeah.
Okay.
His Sheen spike is so big, and that's what the Korean volley one trick says. And that's what I said in the guide as well. I hadn't really fully tested everything yet, but He's one of the best Sheen procs in the game because his W will always use it because the cooldown of Sheen is lower than the cooldown of the W. Just like free Sheen procs every time. Alright, good of you to rotate directly. Too many times on the coachings. Galio's not the champion we do that on.
Yeah.
Because he just does that and you cry. Yeah, don't waste flash on him.
Okay.
I mean, I think you know that, but just to reinforce, yeah. I think here we don't need to stay. I think you can push the wave, and I think I'm already looking at this.
Okay.
And into this. It's nice to have our whole team working together for once, having nice synergy. But I think once you've chunked and sent everyone back, I think you could very easily afford to take the crab, walk into their jungle, and cut them off. And if there's any sort of fight that develops, you can just sandwich.
Okay.
Whereas now you're sort of like in one direction. Like, this is gonna fall anyway, so... It's more my mentality to get into the jungle now. We've shoved them, we've burnt them. They have to go back. We're not a support, we don't need a Situa, we're not Braum. Let's go take... What can we take now? Maybe that helps in terms of closing games, because this guy's just... he's so tilted from the pressure.
Yeah, he just has given up.
And this is from your pressure, right? I mean, we had maybe, I think, one gank instead of top lane hovering so long, and perhaps the one where you sort of showed left, showed left, showed left. I think that's perhaps another gank, or at least pressure, right? So, you know, you've tilted him with just what you did, so it's good. But I think right now I'm just looking at taking his whole jungle plus the crab. Because you're not going to get this tower. You get it anyway, let's see. And now you can't because they're back in the fight, right? Yeah, see this is why. Because it's a feeling a little bit. Right, they've gone back to base. What can we take while they're gone? What can we do while they were not here? If they return back to the lane, you could just all 5v5 on the tower anyway. I mean, but while they're gone, you don't need to 5v0 the tower, you know?
Okay. So
I think that's big, because it gives you gold. Not quite for Trifos. What are we at now? We need another 700, and it's like 1433, I think, from this maybe. This is the worst possible fight. This gives Baron, if they know what they're doing. Let's see. Okay, don't give him the resets. Oh no, that was disgusting. Oh, Galio. Oh, I feel pain.
I probably should have just kept running.
Yeah, agreed.
Not waste my time going back in.
Oh, that taunt. That taunt is it. Oh.
Yeah, and now all the shutdown gold's been given.
Can they Baron for this? If a fel yeah, they can. They got a Felius plus Darius. Yeah, they can Baron for that.
Yeah, they don't.
Alright. Might as well ARAM.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, in this case, the problem is, I guess like earlier we talked about it. You know, if you had gold, you can just go back. The fact that you didn't means you can go do your Raptors and Krugs. Raptors were gone. That's sad. We take Krugs. We reset. We have enough gold for itemization. Now we can go to the other side. Here's the same thing. We just want to fight here. We get the tower. You should have taken the crab. If the blue's up, you take the blue, the gromp, and then you leave. And you need to direct your team as well as your duo to this, because look at this. He's got 2,000 gold almost. The guy's had a horrifically sad game. All of a sudden has 2,000 gold that he wants to spend. That's a lot of gold. You got 1,000 on your ADC. The mid lane and support's not too much, right? But your 3,000 gold lead is not a 3,000 gold lead. You know, it's in fact you have a deficit with all this unspent gold. Now, obviously, their ADC is 1,000, and he's not in the fight, so let's just call it equal, right? But why should this be an equal fight? You're winning. You don't want equal fights. They want equal fights. And you guys are low on resources because you don't have ults or anything like that. They're freshly spent, new itemization, shiny toys, full mana, full HP. You never win that fight. The warding is excellent though. This is exquisite.
Yeah, my duo, I will give him that. He does know how to ward.
I mean, this should move now.
Yeah.
We don't need to keep that there, but like the rest of it, this is beautiful. Well done to your team. I don't see this in my games. Makes me a little upset. Right. So, let's pull up the timer here. What... I think that's the core game. I think at this point for me, you can see total momentum shift.
Yeah.
Shutdown gold for the Darius and everyone else. What do you think of next? Is that you pinging the dragon? No, it's not. What do you want to do next? To sort of try and win?
Soul.
Soul? Alright.
Yeah. Because if we give them that mountain soul, then there's no chance that we're ever killing any of them. So
that's good though. If your team sets up and gets a pick and you're not needed, it's good to do blue crop in the downtime. But I feel like you guys really should fight this. Like, if you cannot win a 4v3, FF.
yeah. Like I was...
Why did he TP top?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
So
this tilted me really hard.
Him TPing top?
Well, him TPing top and then my
what
team just having zero interest in doing anything.
I mean, you have 12. You got, what, 7-10 on the smite?
Yeah.
Plus your W.
And then they hard engage.
I think here you just need to fight this.
Okay.
I know what you're thinking, but 4v2 is a win.
Okay.
Or is it even? Stunned? I mean, if we're there in the beginning, and he's on this, we have more stuns and damage coming out. RE placement's okay. The Galio. Nope. Alright, so one, because he's your duo, you can yell at him for this, but he should not have TP top. It's okay to lose this sucker, so if we win this fight. Because if you win this fight and get this, you can just turbo push bot lane into an inhib. If Phyllis wants to rage split. If Phyllis wants to rage split, let him rage split.
Yeah.
You know? Don't care. He could also ult the Darius, which is huge. It takes Darius out of the fight, lets you guys kill everyone, and then just 4v1 the Darius when he comes out. Even if he kills him. But again, like, we don't want to use our ult always with our Q.
Okay.
But at this point, I think you're just trying to get into the fight, which is fine, but it's a bad fight at that point. Galio is not a balanced champion. Really?
Looks like they nerf Galio and then 4 patches later they buff him, so I don't understand.
He's just so irritating.
He is irritating.
A good Galio who understands macro can very easily win with mid in this point. Right, so for me, the first dragon that we lost is 100% on you because you didn't flip sides based upon the objective that was going live and the fact that the enemy jungler was I'm not even sure he's a real person. The way he was playing at the beginning. It was the most passive Kayn I've ever seen in my entire life. He was basically playing Karthus and not pressing R.
Yeah.
So that should be 3 dragons. So that should have been a soul fight. Now, I cannot tell you categorically, listen, Mr. All Malice, that your team is going to be a 5-man here ready to go, but it's more likely the case if it's a soul. You know, just I don't know. You gotta tell your duo. If there's a dragon up and I tell you to stay, please stay.
Okay.
Does he main Mord or does he play something else or?
Mord and Shen.
Oh man, Shen would have been so good in this game.
Yeah.
Shen is so good. Jungling with a Shen main is just beautiful.
Yeah.
There's a duo on EU West, Tanu. He's a challenger Kazakh player. He plays with a a guy called Shending around, and they just spam doing it. He's a Kha'Zix main, right? So he just R's, and the Shen ults him, and the guy free wins every game.
Oh man.
You could do the same with volley. Shen TPing on a volley is hysterical. Yeah, I like your patience here. It's very good. I think this is tough in your ELO though. This is tough in any ELO. In any ELO, getting people to sort of say, listen, it's 2-2. We've lost momentum. The game is still in an equal state. We can still win the game. I don't necessarily think that's true, but you do have a Jhin, a guy who was a Fed Jhin. So as long as you can keep him alive, there's a potential for you to win fights and to wait the game out. But you really have to wait the game out. So who gets picked here? It's a Zed. Ah, he's typing. God damn it. He was typing, right?
I don't know what he was doing.
He stood still.
Yeah.
I think the ultimate takeaway is if you got a guy that's turbo rage splitting, what are we doing to make sure it's a 5v4 until we win? The problem is, I mean, as a team, the right plays were not made, but I saw a lot of good things from you. Unfortunately, your farming has to fall off now. But with the Zed dead, I think you can just afford to go and clear your jungle. I don't sit in ARAM here, for me. You did blue side, don't sit, just go do your red side. Watch very intently the lanes. So that if you need to rotate, you can rotate ASAP. But ideally, you're telling everyone, relax, back up, let them push, don't fight. Doesn't always work. But, you know, during this downtime, it's very important that you're farming. Are you going to fight a 4v5? No. Is there a dragon up? No. Are they going to do Baron? No. All right, might as well farm in the meantime. And that cycling of experience during these lull periods really keeps you in the game experience-wise.
All right.
Important for Evelyn as well. Because now you could have done your red side, Zed dies anyway, and now you could easily walk back through the jungle and be right here to defend. Now, nothing was lost. You get your camps instead of the Kayn, and you can still defend. Farming in the mid game is something very important. Oh, Darius is just so disgusting. Darius and Galio on the same team with Senna. That's a tough one. Yeah, I think at this point we should be looking for. Okay, you went it. I don't think this is the play. I think 100% Bramble Vest.
Yeah. The only reason I went that is because my AD carry, like I said, my AD carry and my top lane decided not to buy Morellos or an Executioners, and they have a Darius and a Rost.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is, I mean, this is if you do damage to them, but they're doing damage to you as well, so the Thormail would proc just as easily while giving you tankiness.
Okay.
Okay, so we're chilling until the next fight. It's good that you take those camps. I think, I'm sorry, I skipped ahead. But as you were going back, this crab was spawning. I think that's huge to take as well. Okay. You get it anyway, but take it as soon as it's up. Don't leave it to chance. Your Mordekaiser wasn't there.
Nope.
Late to rotation. He should just go and ult. He should just go and ult the. So if this is a soul play, okay. Here you have to ask yourself: if I steal it, great. But I will die and most likely give Baron. But if it's a soul play, that's fine. If I don't steal it and I die, what do they get? Dragon, soul, and most likely the game. So you have to assess the risk of whether or not you want to steal. And I'm only saying that because you have a Mordekaiser duo, so he can go and ult the Ras and it's free.
Okay.
If you can get in, obviously. But I feel like if you hop over this plant, Q, and then R to avoid any sort of issue, you can easily take it at this point. But we don't have vision, so... Yeah, if people are late, just leave. Just leave. Belios, what the hell? Alright.
And I do have a habit of trying to save people, and I don't know why I do it.
I can see
just
that.
let them die.
You should just let them die. But also, there's a lot to be said for target selection. But you know, with this build, you do have the option for it. But like again, like the Zed is just this is why assassins are so bad. When we say, "Hey, I want to climb with an assassin," yeah, I know you want to climb with an assassin, but what's the likelihood your positioning is exemplary as a mid laner, as a Zed? It's bad. Like he almost lost you guys. You guys should have lost Baron the first time. He could have lost you Baron the second time when he died here. And he most likely is going to lose you Baron after the third time he gets picked. And your Mord is the same, like, just leave.
Okay.
And you can tell him that. But here, I mean, you don't want to flash in. You don't want to alt Q in and then have to flash out. I feel like the goal for you should be to have such a lead that if you are not needed as a peel machine, which with an Alistar and a Mord you shouldn't have to be, can you kill them? Kill the Senna. Kill the Aphelios. You should be able to.
Yeah.
At least definitely the Senna, which is big. But I think here you're just in a chokehold with a guy getting picked and you're trying to zone as best you can, but there's not much you can do. But as always with these games, we shouldn't be in this situation. You won't find, because I mean, it sounds a bit like it sounds like a bit of a cop-out, but a smurfing jungler, let's just say, would not be in this situation, right? That's always the way I treat my own games as well. Like, you know, if there's a pro player in my game, I wouldn't be behind in this situation anyway, so.
Yeah.
What did I miss that prevented me from reaching the Exodia? Just so that I could just 1v5 literally everyone in the game. Is there anything special about the rest of it, or just keep you losing fights?
No, it's just more of us getting stomped by... stomped by a Galio and a Darius.
Is that chunking just from the Darius? Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's why. Oh, you even sold the executionist.
I did. I was like, to hell with this.
Yeah, if you got the Bramble, you could at least keep it and justify it.
Yeah.
There you go. The Flash, the Nimbus Cloak Smite. I'm killing you. You don't deserve to live. All right, this is kind of what we want, though. There you go. I wanted to address it, but I wasn't sure it was gonna come up. You definitely want to interrupt his ults with your Q.
Okay.
But I don't see a way this is a great 5v5 for 35 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, the game only lasts for 4 more minutes. It's pretty much over at this point.
Yeah, a nice 40-minute draw out. Yeah. I feel like the biggest issue, the first issues were obviously compromising your entire game plan that you're good with, just to satisfy bottom lane. But it worked out pretty well, I think. You did some nice clearing of the quadrants and stuff, but the biggest thing is this stuff.
Hovering around too long, wasting time.
It's highly likely that he rewards us after a gank, and you just watch his body language. He sees you. So I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
So at this point, go back to base. It's fine.
Okay.
You depressurize the situation, giving him a cannon wave and forcing him to leave his wave. Let's go back to base. Kayn is still dead. Let's see if we can get down to this crab, and then I think this is where you make the game. You know?
Okay.
What if she sticks around? Dead. If he sticks around, dead. He's thinking, I want to ult, but hey, wait a second. He doesn't have ult. So he can't. So you have all the cards right now to win the game. And recognizing this moment in your other games, I think is the biggest thing.
Okay.
Yeah. You have any other questions about like the super early phases or anything like that, volley wise?
So you said you go Kindle Gem into Sheen.
Okay, so my builds it's not troll, but it's semi-troll. I'll go Stalker's Blade, Boots of Swiftness, Kindle Gem, and Sheen. That's the goal.
Okay.
From there, I finish Cinderhulk. After that, I finish Black Cleaver. And after that, I finish Iceborne Gauntlet.
Okay.
And then that's 40% CDR, Iceborne, and Black Cleaver. Now, 99% of the time, there's a champion that can help me proc Black Cleaver as well, so that's something you need to think about in terms of armor shred. If you have a full AP team, it really serves no purpose other than for you, so you could consider flexing into Triforce. But
okay.
Yeah, Kindle Gem, Stalker's Blade, Sheen, Black Cleaver, Iceborne Gauntlet, and because you're 40% CDR, you don't really need the you don't need Spirit Visage because you're going for a more offensive build, so we go Wit's End. So think of it like, instead of getting Triforce, right, I take Triforce, split it into its components, triple their stats, and add resistances. It's like the super expensive billionaire version of Triforce that takes 3 slots. You know?
Okay.
But it's very aggressive, and it's heavily relied on you being very fed. So you cannot afford to do 5 camps into not getting a kill.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would still go the build that's in the video, or full tank, or I used to build warrior a lot, but I think this other flex build that I just told you about, I prefer much more. Yeah, but I definitely think 3 camp to invade, 3 camp to gank, especially for you who have a duo, into double crab, into any other gank that presents itself, will give you at least 2 to 3 kills a game in this ELO. And from there now, you should be able to win all the fights that you find yourself sort of a bit behind. You should be able to win them.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, just pay attention to the E timing with your Q. And don't always feel the need to ult in and save the ult as a gap closer, as a finisher, as, you know, a big surviving machine. Don't use it just to get to something where we don't need to. I think that should change some fights for you.
Okay.
Here we go. Level 9 to level 11. In the Mordekaiser ultimate. Oof, the potential if he was actually fed. Alright, yeah, I think that about wraps it up. I hope I answered, we got through all the stuff you wanted to go through.
No, you definitely did. Because games that I lose, that's usually how they end up. Every once in a while, I'll get completely blown out, but usually for the most part, I'm somewhat in it. I just feel like I'm making mistakes personally earlier on in the game that if I wouldn't have, it wouldn't gone that way.
I mean, that's almost always the case, isn't it? But at the same time, even if you end up in the situations that you did in that game, you would have more dragons, or you would at least yourself be higher experience level with more gold. And that's huge because it gives you the power to really dictate whatever team fight you want. And with the build I suggested to you, you're very squishy, but you can annihilate backlines.
Okay.
So I think ensuring that backlines don't exist and making the picks that you can is really nice. If you have any kind of, even if you end up in these long drawn out annoying games, you're like 12, 3, and 12, and you're controlling every fight anyway. So you don't want to give away that control. Like in that game, you were, I don't know, 3, 3, 4 or something. So we didn't have the ability to sort of dominate the fights.
Yeah.
Which is what we want. But yeah, there's lots of good stuff there. And the fact that you've climbed almost to gold even in the few days since you signed up, it's good. Like there's a lot of good things there.
Okay.
Yeah, I do recommend Volley over Evelyn for this particular MMR, but at the same time, with Evelyn, you can get super fed to the point that you just one-shot anyone who's splitting, which is also nice.
Yeah.
But